You're watching Education for Health Professional Regulators of Ontario, colleges under the Regulated Health Professions Act. Richard Steinica is a senior partner of Steinica Mikura LeBlanc, and he practices exclusively in the area of professional regulation. Richard is a noted author of the Complete Guide to the Regulated Health Professions Act, which, because of its comprehensive nature, has been cited by courts and tribunals, even in cases dealing with non-health professions. Marshall Molesky is the past president of the Federation of Health Regulatory Colleges of Ontario, and he serves as Chief Executive Officer and Registrar of the Ontario College of Pharmacists. Join Marshall and Richard now as Marshall poses a number of important questions on behalf of those of us who want to know more about regulating healthcare practitioners in Ontario.
So Richard, then reactive regulation is where the college responds to information that raises concerns about a practitioner, right?
Correct. There are three types of concerns that are addressed here. Concerns about professional misconduct, incompetence, or incapacity. Sometimes we call that impairment. And these concerns can come from various sources and come from a formal complaint, come from a mandatory report or a voluntary report by a colleague. The police could bring it to your attention, you could find out about it in the media, or another college department might raise the concern.
How does the college handle complaints against practitioners?
Well, that's screened by the Inquiries, Complaints and Reports Committee, which can either look at a formal written complaint or can look at an investigation report initiated by the registrar. If it's a complaint, then there's formal notification to both sides of the process, and the college tries to screen the complaint within 150 days. The practitioner is able to respond in writing to the complaint. The committee would obtain any relevant documents, might approach witnesses for statements, and could possibly appoint an investigator to attend on the premises, to inspect records, or to summons documents and witnesses.
When does the college conduct a registrar's investigation?
Well, that's for any non-complaint concern about professional misconduct or incompetence. In that case, the registrar would request the ICRC to approve the appointment of the investigator, and then the investigator would have all of the full powers I talked to you about earlier, and would provide a report of the investigation to the practitioner, would have an opportunity to respond in writing before the ICRC disposed of the investigation.
What are the options for the ICRC in disposing of a formal complaint or a registrar's investigation report?
First of all, it could be that the concerns are satisfactorily explained and then no action would take place. Or if there are some concerns, some educational action could occur. There could be a formal caution of the member to improve their performance in this area. There could be a requirement that the member undergo a remediation program called a SCRP. If the concern is more serious and there is information to substantiate it, then it could be referred to discipline if it's professional misconduct or incompetence, or to the Fitness to Practice Committee if it was incapacity.
What does a discipline hearing look like?
It's a full-blown hearing, like what you might see on television. There'd be full disclosure by the college of all the evidence it had. There'd be a neutral and impartial hearing panel to hear the evidence. The hearing would be held in public. There would be witnesses, there'd be documents, there'd be legal argument. And then the committee would decide whether or not the allegations had been proved. And if the allegations were proved, the committee would decide what kind of order to make. For example, a reprimand or suspension or even a revocation.
What is incapacity and how does that differ from incompetence?
Incapacity is when a practitioner is ill, not when they are bad or not having the knowledge, skill, and judgment to do what they should be doing. Typically, incompetence comes in two forms: an addiction that's interfering with their practice, or a mental illness that's affecting their professional judgment. The process for incapacity is entirely to protect the public. It's a no-fault approach. and the ICRC would make inquiries, including possibly asking the practitioner to attend before a specialist for an examination. And if there is a serious concern of incapacity, it would be referred to the Fitness to Practice Committee for a hearing.
How does fitness to practice hearings differ from discipline hearings?
Well, in most respects, they're similar in terms of disclosure and witnesses and legal argument. But there are a number of key differences. First of all, because we're dealing with the private medical health status of the practitioner, the hearings are closed to the public. The issue is solely whether the practitioner is capable of practicing safely. And the evidence is primarily medical in nature. And the orders that are made are usually protective orders. For example, that they must continue in treatment and they must perhaps practice under supervision.
Thank you.